It's the Book of Alpha-Ronomy, homie. Read it or weep. Welcome back to another episode of the High Altitude Show. I'm your host with the most, Dr. BoA, aka Book of Alpha-Ronomy, here in the Alpha Sphere. Back in the joint, man, to drop some game on you again. Should you give in to the pressure to attend church, even if you don't feel like that's where you're going to build your relationship or enhance your relationship with the Most High? Got this question from a patron recently, man. One of my long-term patrons, long-term supporters, man. He asked me, how should he respond to his father continuing to try to convince him that he needs a church home? And I'm sure there are other men out here who are dealing with this, because the majority of the older generation of black men do believe that you must attend church in order to develop a relationship with the Most High. I beg to differ. And I'll tell you some reasons why right now. Let's chop it up. Now, basically, that was always a relationship between God and his chosen people, way before the advent of Christianity. So way before any talk of the church, or way before any talk of the baptism, or way before any of that type of talk. So for us to believe that we have to go through those methods means that we either haven't read or don't fully understand the word of the Most High and the New Testament. See what I did there? What we have to understand is this, man. There is no possible way that we can view ourselves as the children of Israel, as the children of the Most High, the chosen people of God, and then turn right around and convince ourselves that we have to go the same methods of everyone else, these methods that have been established by others outside of our chosen people group, to find some semblance of righteousness or holiness, or, heavenly living or heavenly expectations. So as a younger man, you have to understand that you're not going to view the things the same thing as your father, your grandfather, and even some men who are your age who are brainwashed by those guys. You have to do what's right for you when it comes to spirituality, man, because when it all boils down, you're the one that's going to have to answer to the Most High for the decisions that you're making right now. You understand? No matter who influences you, at a certain point, the Most High really, really starts to hold you accountable and responsible. You understand? And if you look in the book of Deuteronomy, it tells you, if anyone, your mother, your father, your friend, whoever, your wife, whoever it is, tries to pull you away from the Most High and tell you to go whoring after other gods, then you should not listen to that person. And technically speaking, we would take them to the middle of the city and stone them to death. But since we can't do no stoning right now, all you could do is just disregard that person. Never follow anyone who's attempting to lead you either away from the Most High or telling you that you have to go through someone else to get to the Most High, because that is the equivalent of placing another God before the Most High. You shall have no God before him. See, the word is your protector from all of these things that are attempting to happen to you spiritually right now. So I could never go for that. When they tell me I have to go through someone else to get to the Most High, I could never go for that. I simply couldn't go for it, because I read the word where it says you shall have no God before him. And anybody that you got to go through to get to God has to be a God. You can't tell me that you got to go through a mortal man who bleeds and puts his pants on with both legs like me and you do, who gonna die from prostate cancer if he don't take care of himself. You can't tell me you got to go through that man to get to the Most High. You see what I'm saying? So anytime you say you got to go through anyone to get to God, you got to consider that other thing, that other entity of God as well. You feel what I'm saying? It's only logical to say that. So when we deal with this from a logical perspective, when you say that you got to go through Jesus to get to God, then you're basically saying that you got to go through another God to get to the Most High. And hey, man, that's one of the original commandments. God is a jealous God. Thou shalt have no gods before him. And anyone who is telling you that you need to do that, you should probably not listen to that person. That would be my suggestion. That would be my advice. That's what I would do. So, in closing, man, I just say, hey, man, it comes a point in your life, man, where you got to take responsibility for your own actions and be willing to live and die with the consequences and repercussions of those actions. What's the worst thing that can happen to you? You can die. Well, guess what? You got to do that anyway. And you don't know if it's going to happen today or tomorrow. So trying to run from it by living this life of, well, I better do what they tell me to do. I better not take any chances with anything. Hey, you ain't taking a chance. You're taking more of a chance by going to church house than you are by not going. Wrap your mind around that one. Look, y'all men, comment down below and let me know what you think about this topic, man. I look forward to hearing what you men have to say. Subscribe to this channel. Comment down below, man. Like this video, man. I'm out. Peace.